Hey guys, how are y'all doing? How's your day going? And if you're just starting, how's your night? Hope you had or are having an amazing and a beautiful day. So today I'm just going to be we're going to just jump right into it. So if you're just joining us, this is our 100 days of Python series. We're going to learn every single thing. Okay, well, I mean not every single thing, but your basic foundation from Python as a programming language to Python in web development, in data science and whatnot, game dev even. So we're just gonna learn that. We're going to jump into it and yeah. So today we're going to be doing control flow. I mean, that is like one of the most important part of programming. I don't care what any other person has to say about it. So we're going to be doing control flow today. If you don't know what control flow is as the name implies, it controls how your program runs. Like if you're when you're building a dynamic program, I'm trying to control myself not to say website. When you're building a dynamic program, there are certain things you want to do to vary. For example, when you are logging in, there are certain errors you want to catch, there are certain requirements you want to have. Or if you are building a quiz website, you want to be able to identify the correct and the wrong answers. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to put out there, but control flow basically they have different sections. We're not doing everything today. So the first one is when you are doing the if else control, which is um depending on what your output, depending on what the user's input is, this is what your output is going to be. You have the loops, which is now there are so many types of loops in Python. So I mean in programming in general. So you have your for loop, which kind of like loops through each individual element in whatever structure you have given it. So if you have, for example, a list, it loops through all the individual elements of that list in order to figure out what it wants to work with. Then you have your while loop, which is kind of almost like a repeat loop. So it continues to repeat unless the loop has been um interrupted, or you have to set it for it to hold, something like that. So today though, so we're going to start with our if else. This your conditionals. So we're going to start with our if else conditionals. So let's just jump into it. So I've already given you an explanation of what the if else statement is. Sorry. So so the way this if else statement works, let's just be using working with users input. So we have A is equals to, let's just take a number from the user. Let's just collect a number. A is because it'll be easier for us to handle numbers. So let me just give the prompt here so I would know once it has run. Just say enter here. So we're going to receive an input from the user, and now we want to do something. So we can pass in an if condition. So the syntax for if is just you call if, you pass in your what do you call it, your argument, you put your column, I'll be semicolon, and then you pass in your statement that must be indented. So let's not indent it. So let's raise an error. I'm trying to like cover all the errors you may come across. So if you ever see it, you would know how to handle it. I don't know if that sounded wrong from my mouth. So let's just say if A is equals to, let's just put a random thing. Sorry. Why not? Okay, yes, that. So I almost made a mistake right now. If you use one equal to, your signing. If you use double equal to, your is it checking, comparing, whatever. So if we use the single equal to, that would also be an error. So let's not indent it. Let's just say, I don't know why I'm not typing well today. So we're just going to print A. So let's save it. So as you can see, my code is not indented. They're already showing the error. I'm going to get an indentation error. That is a very popular error in Python. And I think Python is probably not, but Python is the only programming language that I've ever come across the error. So you can see it, indentation error. So anytime there are certain things, whenever you call this semicolon, because here in Python, we don't use curly braces or square braces or parentheses to create blocks. I think in C++ you use, I think, curly braces to create a new block, and you still even have to end it with a semicolon. But in Python, once you just call this, why don't I know what this stuff is? Is it column? I don't know. Once you call it, you have to indent it. This is not the only time I use, but just know that whenever you do this stuff here, this double dot, you must always indent whatever comes after it. And now let's just print A. So If I were to now write something under it and it was not indented, even though now I've read it, you can see my error is not the same. Even if I start typing here, I'm not going to get any error. Fashion fact, I'm getting error. I wrote rubbish. That one is on me. It's not on it's not the program. If I were to write something here, a valid program here after it and it's not indented, then it's not going to be part of that block. So I don't know. A block of code is kind of like a collection of codes that work together. It's kind of like a I don't function is not the right word to use honestly, but just think of it as a function. When you define a function, well, I've not yet jumped into function yet. I don't think so. Once you define a function, when that function is called, it's only going to call. And the thing is, function even still makes use of indentation. I honestly don't know how to explain it. A block of code is just a collection of code. Anything that is not within that block is like a paragraph of code. So yeah, a block of code is like a paragraph of code. So that first paragraph, when you are accessing that first paragraph, you're only going, like, if you are reading, I'd say okay, read the first paragraph. It's only what's inside the first paragraph you're going to read. You're not going to start reading the second paragraph. So if I write a block of code and I now leave that indentation and start writing it like before the indentation or even after it's not going to access it because it's not part of that paragraph. I hope that explained it to you honestly. If it didn't, I don't know honestly. So this is just an if. So this is the first one you need to learn, working with if as a singular um function. So if you just run it, if you still don't know how to run Python code, you run by using Python and the name of your file dot py. So let's say we said if a is equals to 0. So let's do that one first. It printed out 0. Now what if a is not equal to 0? Since we don't have anything outside of the if block of code, we are expecting nothing to happen. Our program is just going to come to a halt. So there we have it. Oh, sorry, I put 0 again. I'm sorry. I was wondering what happened. I put 0. Let me put something else. There we have it. So nothing was printed. Now, what if we want to print everything that isn't 0? That is when we meet our next best friend, else. So we have else. So this else doesn't take any argument. So because what else is saying that you're running your if, so if this condition is true, do this. But if this not if the condition is not true for whatever you are currently testing it against, do this. So you're saying for every other thing that the condition that the argument doesn't favor, carry out this action on it. I hope that I explained it to you. So we can just maybe print not 0, because why not? Not 0. Let's just save it and let's run it. Once again, if you're joining us, the source code to everything is going to be linked in the description below. I'll have a link tree that has all my social media on it. Don't forget to check there and just show me some love and support some support. If you're interested in Call of Duty, I recently started playing and I go live on TikTok. So I'm currently not streaming this January. I'm not doing any coding streams on TikTok. I'm just gaming. But starting from February, yeah, I know Valentine and all that. Starting from February, I'm going to start streaming my coding lessons. I'm just trying to balance like what time will I go, because I will soon go back to school, so I will not even have as much free time as I do right now. So I want to balance like what time am I going to stream the game, what time am I going to stream my coding tutorial. So I'm just, you know, let's run our program. It's already running. So we already know what happens when we print 0. So let's try running this 9 again. And we can see we got not 0. Now there's another thing I would like to introduce you to. So I'm sorry. I was just checking on my speed. I'm sorry. So I was saying, remember in the last, I think it was the last one or the one before that, because this is our third one. I can't remember when I introduced you all to operators, but we talked about an operator called modulo. I didn't really enter deep into it, but I said what modulo does, it handles the remainder. So now let's do this. So how will we make use of a module? So if we did a module, a module 2 is going to be when you divide a by 2, what is the remainder of it? And when does this come in handy? When you want to check for odd or an even number. So let's do that. Let's copy this. Let's just copy this and let's come here. So inside here, let's just create a new file. We'll just call it odd or even dot py. I think I'm getting better at naming. So say if it's equal to double equal sign, if it's equal to 0, that means we are saying if there is no remainder. Because if you divide an even number by 2, you do not get a remainder. So, and if it's not an even number, then obviously it's going to be an odd number. So we're going to print this is an even number and this is going to be an odd number, obviously. All right. Um. Okay. So let's just put a break. Okay. Let's run our program now. Let's run our program. Run without debugging. Oosh. Let's pass in an even number 6. This is an even number. Let's run it again. Let's pass in an odd number this time. I know there's this TikTok trend that is just in my head. I have sang it, but I don't. Sha. Ish. This is an odd number. So let's just copy this and take it back to our previous program. This time I'm just writing it so I can deploy the code to, I can push the code to GitHub. Okay. So now, what if we wanted to now have a nested if else elif statement within a program? Okay, I'm not even introducing you to elif. Let's talk about elif. So let's do the different programming stuff of this. So let's say we have um okay, no, let's do this. I don't know, I'm not creative. So we can just let's just copy this one. Let's just copy this one out like this. Or just copy it. Or let's just put an elif in front of it. And let's just call our if statement up here again. We're just going to say if a is equal to 0, print a. Okay, so an elif statement is when you want, because sometimes it's not just two conditions you want to catch. Like, okay, take this project for example. Now I'm now in this generation, we are gender fluid, or at least we have multiple genders. So what if we was back in the days, we would only need an if else statement to handle our genders. So we would just say if user is a girl, print you are a girl, else print you are a guy. But now I'm not a girl, I'm not a guy. So how do you tell me what I am? How does a good example? Let's write that program. I'm feeling inspired. Let's say let's say user is equals to that's just stress, honestly. Gosh. I'm sorry, but let's just assume 0 is handling girl, elif is handling boy, and else is handling every other thing that doesn't revolve around the. Okay. So we have, so when we run the first thing, if is to test our very first condition, and we can access this if multiple times. So this if just basically else if, so we can just access it multiple times until I've tested all our conditions. Now there are better ways to go about this. Like there's this match, there's the match function. So but I'm not jumping into that now. I think I even have a video about it, but I'm not jumping into that today. So we run our if, test our first condition, run an else if, test our next condition. If we have more conditions to run, we can just do that, and then we just save it. So it still works the same way. So even if I test 10 different conditions, anyone that doesn't fit into either of those 10 now falls under our else function. So that's run it. Please, that's fine. Can I help you? Can I drop this one first? So anyone that doesn't fall under these conditions is going to fall into our else. So let's do our first one. Let's test for 0 and print out 0 for us. Now let's run it again and let's test for any even number that isn't 0. This is an even number. And now let's test it for an odd number. Perfect. Our program works beautifully. So what else do I want to cover? Okay, we have our nested if else statement. So do you know what it means for something to be nested? That means it falls under it, under it, under it, under it, under it. So let's just clear out, let's get rid of this. Let's just get rid of this whole thing. I'm clicking that if. So if let's say okay, now I've derived that the number we're working with is an even number. So this nested is a pretty straightforward thing. It's just doing the exact same thing we just did, just implementing this if else statement, but with the another if else statement. So if I wanted to now test if A is maybe greater than give me a number sheet 10, print is greater than 10. So it's just basically the same thing I've done. It's just that now it's going to be enclosed in it. So when does this come in handy? For example, if I want to test multiple things against you, for example, okay, I want to test, okay, um, are you a girl or a guy? I'm not going through all those gender fluid stuff. Are you a girl or a guy? Yes, I'm a girl. All right, so now we know you're a girl. What other information do we want to know? Are you black or are you white? Shit. Oh god, I need to change topic. I'm black. Okay, are you above 20 or are you below 20? You get. So if you want to test multiple control, and you can keep nesting it as much as you want to. There are better ways to go about this though, but that's just basically the gist on nested if else statement. It's just calling an if else statement within another if else statement. And also now, I've talked about this nested. There's another type of if else statement that is called the multiple. I mean, this is not what it's called though, but like it's multiple if else statement. So instead of nesting it, let's just get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. So let's say I wanted to test this. So let's just move this here. So I've called the if statement here once. It runs this one and it continues in the code. Once it continues, it says, oh, we have another condition to test. It tests it and it's just going to continue. So if this was indented, if this was else, it's only one of these conditions that can be true. Even if both of them can be true, it's just going to pick up kind of like on the first one or something like that. I don't know. Let's actually run it and see. I've actually never really never actually done this. Let's rent and see what's happening. So we need to put something that is greater than 10 and that is an even number. Let's try it 20. Okay, yeah, it's only going to run the very first. It's only going to run the very first the if. But if I now were to use this double multiple if statement and like call them consecutively, it's going to run both of them because they are not linked together. They are not like one group of code. So it has run, it has set this condition, it came out true. It's continuing the program, so it's another condition for it tests it and it comes out true. I hope I'm explaining better. So you can see this is an even number, 20 is greater than 10. So in one of our last videos, we built a BMI calculator. So let's just work on that, shall we? So it's just going to be BMI, mama, BMI 2.0. Let's make it better. Let's print out results. And I forgot to put my .py, rename the py. Okay. I think was day two that we did this. Okay, this is, let's just copy the code for this one. Let's just copy it, and let's work on our BMI calculator. So let me Google the formula again because why not? So what is this? Formula for MBM. Oh, ah, I'm just getting frustrated. I don't know. Everything is just frustrating me now. I did a little get to know me session. My birthday is coming soon in the next 3 months. It's less than 3 months now. Okay, no, it's up to 3 months. What is the day? Cheat. Today is just ninth. My birthday is like over 3 months. Let's calculate. Um, 3 months from now. My birthday is 3 months from now, and I think like I have like the way you have New Year resolution. My own New Year resolution starts from like my birthday. That's my New Year resolution starting point. My birthday. So I have a list of things that I would like to achieve by my birthday, or at least before my birthday. Like I'm working on a game. I don't know if you are following me on TikTok, you see I've already released a video about that. And I was talking like I'm working on this game and trying to find the formula. I'm just seeing the BMI calculators. I'm not seeing the formula. So I'm working on this game and Oh shit, I didn't know this. I've been working with Django for some years now. But I didn't know that Django had like its own CMS. So I don't know if you guys want to see a video of me trying to. I feel it wouldn't be as much different as normal. So if you want to see a video of me trying that out, you can let me know. Okay, what was I saying? Okay, I found the formula. Yeesh. Okay, what was I saying? Okay, yes, so I'm working on a game. I think that's actually the main thing right now. I'm working on a game, and I've made a lot of progress. So it's like I don't know if you're familiar with this Bit Life or all these life simulators, but like not the Sims type, like more of the I don't know. I mean, I'm building a game and I don't know share about it. Not good marketing, but it's kind of like this type of game. So I'm working like on the basics of the game before I now start adding storylines and whatnot. So I'm almost done with the basic features. It's just mainly the storyline, and I would like to see if I can release at least a beta version of it, maybe one storyline or two by my birthday. Like I'll release it on my birthday and be like kind of like a birthday gift for me. So yeah. I don't know what just happened. But let's go. So we have our BMI calculator. So I was forcing people to impute what they want their weight to be. Ah, I was going to use this split. I was going to use split. Let's use split. Let's use split. So we're going to say, please impute your weight. Let's change from in kilograms to with is metrics, with his meters. What do you call it? Ugh. Ah, what do you call this stuff? Ah, 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 I don't know what they call it. You're watching this video. I'm going to use SI units. Okay, these enter your weight with the SI units, with the respective SI units. Respective. I hated this stuff. I don't know why. Respective, not respect, like SI unit, like unit conversion, especially in physics. Oh, I hated it in physics. Oh my gosh. I loved physics. So, actually, I loved physics. I loved maths. I did for the maths even. I mean, I failed for the maths. I mean, I didn't fail it, but like I didn't pass it. I loved it. But when you start telling me to like convert this to this, I think that's why I hate chemistry. Convert this to this, balance the equation. Oh my god. Oh my god. First you. I mean I don't, but like I do in a way miss my secondary school. Alright, so we're now going to run a condition to check. So we're seeing what am I seeing? Okay, so if it's in kilograms, that's what we had for kilograms is kilograms divided by height in meters. I think that's what we had before, and that's just the formula for it. So let's handle those ones first. So we're going to make use of a nested. So we're going to say, ah shit, my chest just typing me. Oh my god. Oh, oh my god. So the weight for when you're working with pounds and inches is the same thing. So you don't need to make any change to pounds. We're just going to ignore weight. So we're going to say if we need to split the height. So let's just praise obasi. We cannot multiply it now because we're going to have it's not going to be an integer anymore. Shit, I just forgot. It's not going to be an integer anymore because we're receiving text. Praise obasi. I like my name. Someone told me that my name is nice. Chibudom. Nice my language. Someone told me that is nice. Okay, so we're going to say so we want to split it. So let's strip it first. I don't know. I wish they would like change that word from strip. So we're going to strip it. That's why removing all the white spaces. I've done string manipulation already, and then want to split it. That's our breaking it down into lists. So oh god. So we want to split it out. When people are putting their SI units, do they use to leave space? Oh gosh, this is annoying. Do people usually leave space when they're typing in SI unit? I don't think they do. Do they? Let me just tell them to do it. I beg. I don't have time to start doing all these special tests and all this thing. I don't have strength for this honestly. Please ensure to leave a space. Please ensure to leave a space between the number and the SI unit. I'm so mature. If you like, read the instructions. If you like, don't read the instructions. Should I put like a documentation? No. This is a simple program. I'm sure you can understand it. Or watch my video. Why you not watching my video and you're trying to use my source code? Watch my video. So we're just going to split that all the white spaces. We're not putting anything in particular. So we've gotten our weight, we've gotten our height. So we're going to say the height is a list now. So we have our index 0, which is going to be the digit that we're working on. But we're going to say let's lower it also. Let's lower it. Let's lower it. So the lower will come here. Let's just bring it here. If I can have you, no one should. What should I do? Okay, dot lower. So the first thing we want to check is if height at index 1 is equals to I don't think they're going to write it in I don't think they're going to write it in or you know what, praise that's why I just stress yourself. Let's just do this. Let's do this in a different way. Let's do it in a different way. Calm down. Ush. We're going to see work on this program again when we're working with Tinker, or I think maybe we'll introduce. I keep forgetting what the name of the other one is. There's another GUI. I keep forgetting the name of that one. But when we start working with that, we're going to work that one with just a drop down bar. It's going to save me from all this nonsense. Okay, we're going to say please. Oh, I'm supposed to print it. We're going to print. Please select um. Please select your appropriate I called the word I did not spell. Your appropriate SI unit. So we want to check N is going to be A. Should we include it in A? Let's include it. N is going to be A. A is going to be what are they saying again? We have kg or meters. And then we have B. B is going to be B is going to be LB slash inches. I think inches is IN bar. Then we're going to say please select A or B. Let's run it first and let's see our print function. If I can have you, no one should. I might, I might kill my ex. Not the best idea. His nice girlfriend myself. Okay, so we're going to now take the user's input. So let's change this from print to input. Okay, and we're going to assign it into SI. So it's going to be equals to whether they choose A or they choose B, and then let's make the program as short as possible. Okay, so let's just lower whatever the user's input is. Let's just lower it. That it will catch whether it's a capital letter A or a small letter A. Then we're going to say your let's do it. Your weight is going to let's just copy the input we gave them to do here before. Because I'm a lazy person. I'm very, very lazy in case you haven't picked up on that yet. Okay, so we have our weight. Please enter your weight. We don't want it in kilograms. We just want it. Please enter your weight. Please enter your height. Okay. Now we're now going to start calling our condition. If SI is equal to A, what do we use for A? A is kilogram and meters. Kilogram and meters. So that one is straightforward. Then we're going to say height is going to be equals to, oh sorry, if SI unit is equals to, we want it to be an in a string. We're going to say height is going to be equals to the current value of height um raised to the power of 2. Okay. And let's see. Um okay. Weight is normal weight, height is raised to the power is squared. Else, if it's not so, okay, we also need to catch. So let's do L if. We also need to catch in case these are past rubbish. L if um we're going to say okay, if L if SI is equals to B, we're going to say height is going to be equal to, okay, shit, they still squared the height. I don't understand how this their formula is working, honestly. Okay, we'll still need to square the height. So they are squaring the height for both of them. Is okay, both of their heights are squared. Oh gosh, this is annoying. Why can't they just have an easier way to handle this stuff? Huh? Huh? So we're going to say BMI is going to be equal to weight weight divided by height. That's all. But if it's for the other one, it's going to be almost the same thing. Weight BMI BMI is going to be equals to, I think I can even just do this one generally for them because the exact same formula. Oh, it's obasi. Let's include this one inside the bracket because I think I don't know if it's only, let's just include it. I think we'll just multiply the everything because we're supposed to still multiply it by 703. I think it's just everything. We'll just multiply everything by 703. If the formula is incorrect, it's not my fault. I don't understand this formula. It's giving me a headache just to read simple formula. It's not as if I'm reading any complex something. All right. And that thing, let's now run under condition. Let's let the users know what their weight is. So we're going to say if, okay, we also need to handle the other error, sorry. Else print invalid input. Now if you're working on your program, make sure to always let users know what exactly the invalid input is. Me here, I'm just doing a very simple program, but if I'm working on something more complex and I'm going to raise an error, I'll need to make sure that you know what's wrong. For example, if I'm building a sign up form, I'll need to let you know why your input wasn't accepted. It builds a more, so if um if BMI is less than or equals to 18.4, so if BMI is less than 18 point, I mean it's less than or equal to, but you know what? If BMI is less than 18.5, they are going to print, we'll just print underweight. This there's even more severely underweight. You know, fuck it. Let's just this one underweight. Anybody, let's just copy. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. We're going to say Ellie, if BMI is within the range of 18.5, so we're just going to cut this out. So if BMI is within the age of 18.5 to 24.9, then the user is normal. Okay, let's say another one. Is still going to be same thing. Only if the user's range is now 25 to 39.9, that's 14. Then it's going to be overweight. Else, so this one is just going to handle it. Else, print obese. Let's save it. I think this should be it. Let's run our program. Okay, please select your appropriate SI unit. So this one I'm looking at, they say 5 feet 10 inches ish. Oh, I didn't even account for that. There's some people who write it in inches, but I didn't shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ugh. Okay, we need to handle if the height is written in inches. Because if you're writing inches, you're going to write 5 with 10. How will you even write it? Honestly, I don't use that SI unit. I don't know. You know what? I don't care about you people again. I don't care. Write your unit in kilograms of egg. I don't use that. I use kilograms and kg. I don't know what nonsense people are talking about. Please don't stress me with unnecessary nonsense. Okay? Please don't. I cannot deal with that right now. On top calculating of height again. No. Okay? Okay. This should be okay. This should be okay. Use kilograms, please don't stress me. Okay? Nobody taught me. Alright, welcome to this BMI. Please enter your weight in kilograms. Let me look for a kilogram. I'm trying to look for where they will survey. Okay, please enter. Okay, let's just see. I'm trying to look for like a weight calculator, one that they calculated kg and meters. Okay, so if the weight, please enter your weight in kilograms. So if the weight is 64 and the height is 1.9, apparently. I don't think I know how measurements work. Oh, let me not use integer. Let me use float. Let me use this one as float. Let me use float. Because some of you, this thing, what am I doing? What is wrong with me today? Let's use float instead. start in case you're writing like decimal or something. And my power bank has gone off. Where's my other power bank? Okay, it's 64 and it's 1.9. Okay, that is underweight. Yeah, the person is underweight. As that's the program. I just use this program to confuse myself. Alright, what else is left for us to cover? What haven't we covered yet? Okay, so what if we wanted to have like run multiple tests on it, like wanted to test it against multiple conditions? So I don't know if you remember when they taught you logic gates in secondary school, in high school, and taught you logic gates. Yeah, so there are three main logic gates we're going to work with in Python. Your AND gate. So AND is true if every single condition passed is true. We're going to get into that shortly. And for there's your OR gate. So OR is true if at least one of your conditions or one of your arguments is true and not is just the inverse of. So that not gate, we're going to make use of it when we start working with lists and loops. But let's just come into here and let's say um let's get a number from the user. So a is going to be equals to, it's going to be a number. All right. So what if we want to check if first thing, let's just use in a bracket. You mustn't put inside parentheses, but it just makes it more presentable. So if a is greater than um if a is greater than 10, and we're just going to use a single if statement here, and um a is also an even number, print true. So let's save it and let's, what did I do just now? Oh, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? What is wrong with me, honestly? So let's run it. Okay, so let's pass something that doesn't favor the condition. Let's pass in it needs to be greater than 10. So let's use 3. 3 is less than 10 and 3 is not an even number. Nothing happened. Yes, can the easy ones. Now let's favor one of the condition. Let's write a number that is greater than 10 but it's not an even number. Nothing happened. Now what if we were to now run something that is greater than 10 and is an even number? It printed true. Now if this and was changed to an or and we run it and we now run that 21 again, we're expected to get a true this time. True. That's basically your logic gate. It's just your AND gate. So as long as any, like, you can pass multiple conditions, but as long as all of those conditions you're passing are true and you're using AND, then your output is going to be true. But if you're using OR gate, you can pass in a million arguments, but as long as just one of those arguments you've passed in is true, then you're going to get it true as your distinct. So you there's no need to maybe feel like you can refresh your memory on logic gate. But yeah, that's all for this video. The source code will be linked in the description below. Subscribe if you aren't already, please. I don't know why I'm just stuck at this number of subscribers. I mean, I appreciate all of you who are subscribed, but please let's try and like get to 1,000 or something. Make my birthday for me and have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye guys.